welcome back. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Juice and Toya podcast, brought to you by One Body, Los Angeles. I'm your co-host, Juice.
And I am Toya. Welcome to another episode 21. We're back.
Yes, we're back. Sorry for the delay. I feel like we say this all the time, but we're busy with a lot of different things. We've been working on programs, workouts. We've been filming a lot. Toya's been taking care of our baby boy. So it's been a lot of stuff going on, and we've been having some traveling coming up. So we're trying to get ahead with content. So you've been enjoying these podcasts. We're going to try to stay a little bit more consistent for you. So
Promise.
we apologize. But anyway, we have a good topic today. This is one that that's been requested a lot from a lot of our community, but also just people who ask us questions, especially on social media and Instagram. When we do those question box, we get these questions all the time. So today we're talking about supplements, everything you need to know about them, how to approach supplements, what to look for, and also kind of the things to kind of stay away from, especially the mentality that a lot of people have with supplements. So hopefully by the end of this episode, you'll feel a lot more comfortable and knowledgeable about supplements and know how to approach them in a healthy way.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And so first, before we get into the episode, we're going to go over some quick housekeeping that we have.
Why is that funny? I don't know why that's so funny.
But first and foremost, we are in the middle of our Summer Ready program.
Hey.
So if you're joining us on that program, congrats. We're more than halfway through. Like we mentioned in previous episodes, this program is always one of our favorites because the energy is always so great. I think everyone just gets excited for summertime's coming and the weather is warmer. It makes it a little more motivating to work out. So we're halfway through the challenge of it. But if you'd like to join on the 4-week program, it's still available for you in the app. So you can still check that out. If you're looking for a program to help with body fat loss, it's fun, it's energizing, it's a great program, 4 weeks long.
4 weeks.
Go check it out. We'll link the app in the show notes or the description, wherever you're listening to this.
For sure.
But yeah, it's a great program. Go check it out. It's a lot of fun. And there's a follow along version and a circuit style program.
For sure. And there's 2 different versions too as well. One is free, that are made up of a lot of our videos that we have on the channel. And then the one that we have on the app that's follow along style has some exclusive workouts attached to it as well that aren't on YouTube. So go check that out if you want to see some of those new workouts. And if you want to do the circuit training, which we highly recommend for a lot of you, go check it out on the app, man. We have a lot of good content dropping on there, especially through this summer. So
And one thing I'll say too on the follow along program, if you are kind of toying with one of the differences between YouTube and the app, especially just aside from the exclusive workouts, we've had a lot of people say they enjoy them on the app because they're ad free also. So that's another benefit that has nothing to do with the goals of it. But if you want to enjoy the YouTube workouts ad free, that's another way to do that as well.
And to kind of reference that, if you really only go on YouTube to do our workouts, YouTube Premium is $15 and our app is also $15 a month. So you might as well just get it on the app and have access to all these workouts, especially all the other content that we have on there. You can message us. You have recipes and nutrition that's on the app that we don't necessarily have a lot of on our YouTube channel. So a lot of benefits. So definitely go check out the app and all the programs we got on there as well. So next, we got merch. I got some of the merch on right now.
He does.
You
Look
only
at the
get
model.
one. You only get one. We got the hoodie. This is men's or women can wear this too as well. And we also have some other styles on the website too. So go to onebodyla.com/shop to get your merch. We got some great colors, and then we got some new stuff that we're going to get ordered for the summertime as well. So be on the lookout for that. But again, we appreciate all of you who's been supporting our merch. It's Lululemon, so you know what to expect when you got the Lululemon on. This quality stuff. It's all we wear. I mean, even this beautiful dress she has on is Lululemon. These pants, these cargo pants, and of course this top. So go check it out on the website, onebodyla.com/shop. We appreciate it. And then shout out, if you take a picture in it, maybe shout us out on Instagram or social media. We want to shout you out and repost you on the page. So,
Yay.
Yeah. All right. So let's get into it, man. Let's talk about supplements. And this is a heavy one today. We're going to try to get out of here quick. We don't want to be talking too long. But this is one we really want to hone in on just because we get a lot of questions as far as supplements. And we're starting to feel like, at least me personally, people are starting to develop a sort of a unhealthy relationship when it comes to supplements. So we just want to sort of give you a foundation of how you should approach supplements, what they are, and just learn more about them today. So
absolutely. So we kind of want to talk first about the purpose of supplements, what they are, because there are many great benefits and reasons that they are available and important to us. So when we think of supplements, I think there's been a few different ways where we have people ask us questions about them. And I think the assumption is that supplements are only for building muscle or only for getting jacked, right? Like associating supplements with fitness
or
physical growth or weight loss, fat loss. Like, so sometimes I think people even think supplements equal steroids also. Like, is it okay for me to take this? Things like that. So supplements are just that. They are supplementing something that you may be lacking in your diet. So this could be anything from protein powder to a multivitamin to vitamin D to BCAAs. Like they're
pre-workout.
Exactly. So you're supplementing your body with something that you're not getting in through your nutrition.
For sure. And a good example of that is we talked about this in a previous podcast. We went vegan for like 4 months. We quickly found out that our protein intake like decreased by like 40%. To the point where it was vital for us to have a protein shake just to kind of make up for that protein that we weren't getting from not eating the normal meats and proteins that we were used to eating
before. And we were
before.
also eating a lot of fake meats, and that protein is not the same bioavailability. So even if, let's say,
explain that.
Like,
let's break that down though. So what is bioavailability?
Yeah, so it's the protein that you're actually utilizing in your body. So let's say a package has 20 grams of protein in it. You may only be actually utilizing 10, 12 grams of that, right? So you might think you're getting 20, but you're not. And it all has to do with the makeup of the protein in the product. So the amino acids of the protein. So if you're not getting in quality complete proteins, that makes a big difference in how much protein you're getting in your body. So when we were eating fake meats, essentially, like it wasn't like chickpeas and things like that. We were eating those things, but we were also buying like processed, not very good fake meats. We weren't getting in quality protein, and it was showing in our body in a sense of how we were feeling, the recovery. Now there is a way to be vegan and get in quality protein and get in enough. We weren't doing that. You know, we were just kind of like trial and erroring things. And
we were trying to, you know, sort of, for lack of a better word, supplement the meats that we were eating. We still wanted those same meals, but
it was quicker.
It was quicker.
We thought we were getting in a higher volume of protein versus it takes a lot of food to get in your protein from broccoli and chickpeas and lentils than it does the fake meat.
Yeah. And we get that question too a lot. Like, can you get in the protein you need and be vegan? Of course you can. But you also, I found myself eating a lot more on a schedule that I wasn't used to. So right now I eat 2, maybe 3 meals a day, and like big meals. That's just like something that kind of keeps me going from day to day. And that's always how I've kind of eaten, especially when I was playing sports back in the day. So the thing I wasn't used to was eating more meals throughout the day just because I was hungry. And I had to get in that protein and eat smaller like meals, but I had to eat more volume, if that makes sense.
Because you're still getting in a lot of fiber from all the vegetables you're eating, so you'd get full.
Exactly.
But then that would break down, and then you're hungry because you're not getting a lot of protein, which is satiating.
So it's not. I'm not saying that it's not possible. It's definitely possible. I mean, I know guys in the NFL who are vegan who get obviously plenty of protein to sustain them. So it's definitely possible. But again, we did it the wrong way when we were doing it. Like we weren't educated on getting the whole foods and the whole nutrients that we needed. We quickly felt that, and we sort of adjusted things to make sure it made sense for how we were training, how we were moving, and the energy that we needed on a daily basis. So again, it's supplementing, right? It's supplementing the things that we weren't getting, or the things that we need to supplement the goals that we're trying to achieve. So,
Yep. And then, so that kind of goes into why you might need them. So that's a great example of, we needed to get in some protein in some way. So we are supplementing with protein powders. You might need them if you're deficient in a vitamin. So I was vitamin D deficient for a long time, which is very common, especially in women. So that's a very common one. Once my blood work was consistent multiple times in my vitamin D, my doctor recommended stop taking. I didn't need it anymore. I didn't need to supplement my diet with it anymore.
Correct.
You might need to supplement because you have a medical condition and your body doesn't absorb a certain nutrient, enough of it through your diet. So you might need to supplement. So there are many different reasons why you might need a supplement or might want to take a supplement. And then that kind of leads me into you can have too much.
So this is a big one because I think understanding what you need for your body will help you understand like how not to
like are they necessary?
Are they necessary for you? Because we'll get into the social influence of things, but a lot of people see, you know, people taking protein powders or taking creatine and different supplements, and they feel like, oh, am I missing out on something?
Right.
Am I not taking advantage of what I could be getting gains wise every day if I were taking these supplements? So not really falling victim to the social influence of it and understanding like if you're getting in this amount of protein or a certain nutrient that you need already, and then you're supplementing more of it, you're adding more to the pot, which could even potentially be dangerous for your body too as well. So kind of go into like excess
so it's very normal, I think, for people to see that and think, oh, like they're taking this, should I be taking that? Because you want to do what you can to reach your goals. You want to make sure you're maximizing the hard work that you're putting in. But I think, like he said, one, it can get dangerous because you might be taking something that could interact with the medication you're taking, or you're already getting enough of it through your diet to where you're just wasting money. You're just peeing out the supplement. But then peeing out, it still takes your organs time to process and break down. So then your liver might be doing more work, your kidneys might be doing more work, you know. So there are, when we get questions on supplements and like, should I take this? I know it's probably annoying to hear us say do the research on it, but we say that on purpose just because we both have taken things that maybe weren't the best for us. Like for me, for example, I'm very sensitive to caffeine. Like I never finish my cup of coffee in the morning. Like it doesn't take much caffeine for me to get jittery, right? And in college, everyone was taking pre-workout and they were getting these pumps and they were having great workouts. And so I was like, then I should be taking pre-workout if I want to have a good workout.
Yeah.
Did zero research, took pre-workout that a friend gave me. Looking back now, I'm like, that could have had anything in it, you know, but it was pre-workout and you take it for the gym and they got it at this sports shop. So it has to be good, right? Yeah. And so it skyrocketed my blood pressure. Wow. I mean, I want to say it was 174 over like 110 or insanely high. The worst feeling ever, and it terrified me to where immediately the paramedic was like, "What'd you take?" Like immediately, I was like, "Didn't do anything."
Yeah.
Like,
oh my God. You know what my theory is? My theory is Toya has never been the type of person to sacrifice her sleep. So I felt like even in college, Toya got great sleep. But since she saw that other people were taking supplements or pre-workout, she was like, "Oh, I want to get in a great workout too."
With my energy,
exactly, and it was something that she just really didn't need, and it was something again, like for example,
and it's a question we get a lot: do I need to take a pre-workout? And we always say, like, no, you don't need to do anything, right? We understand where the question comes from because you see other people doing it and you think that it might be necessary. Yeah. So. I didn't need the pre-workout. And if you do find that you need some energy before, there's other ways to get that without beta alanine and all the other things that are in pre-workout.
Correct.
If you enjoy pre-workout and your body handles it well and it helps you get in a great workout and you have no side effects, keep taking it. I mean, if it works for you with any supplement, like keep taking it. And that's kind of what we want to like convey with this podcast is like, there's no right or wrong with majority of supplements. If it's something that works for you and it's safe for you and it's giving you great benefits, keep taking it. If it's something that you feel like you don't absolutely need, or you're already getting through your diet, you're kind of wasting money or adding more stress and work to your body.
Yeah, but one thing I will say is there's a difference between taking supplements, you know, that your body actually needs and supplementing. For example, like pre-workout's a good example of that, because the only thing I don't like about people in the overconsumption of pre-workout is that people kind of, they feel like they need it every workout.
Yes.
That shouldn't be the case. And again, it's a supplement. I only took pre-workout when I was taking pre-workout on days where I just needed it.
Like I needed that little extra.
Exactly. There's been days like, we would train, 4 or 5 clients in a row. And as a trainer, anybody who's trained can understand, like, that's kind of exhausting, and it's mentally exhausting.
Absolutely.
And sometimes the last thing you want to do, even for yourself, is to work out after training 5 people for 5 hours straight. So it was something that I needed on certain days where, if I had a big leg day and I really wanted to perform well that day and I knew I just didn't have the energy that I needed, I would take some pre-workout. Or even some days, again, if I didn't have the pre-workout, a banana or orange or like some quick absorbing carb just gave me that little spark that I needed. And once you get into the workout, it's fair game from there. So I don't want people to feel like, especially something like pre-workout, is something that they need every single day, because you don't want your body to get dependent on it. You know what I mean? Because if there's a day, let's say you're traveling, you're still trying to get in a good workout, now your body is so accustomed to having that pre-workout that now you're sacrificing, what could be a solid session just because you don't have that supplement.
And you also might have to start taking more of it to feel the benefits. And so that's a good example of where too much or overconsumption can not be good.
Yeah.
And same with protein powders. We never recommend like every day having protein shakes, just because we don't want you to rely on the protein powder. Sure. We don't want you to rely on the supplement of the protein powder to get your protein in, because then you could be missing out on a lot of nutrients, but also it can lead to bloating, digestion, and things like that. So we don't like to make a protein shake every single day if we can eat our protein, if that makes sense. So it's not something we want to rely on to get in our protein.
For sure.
It's something that we use, like if I'm needing to get in a quick post-workout and I'm heading out soon, I don't have time to cook something, I'll probably more than likely make a shake to get in my protein. But if I'm home and I don't have to go anywhere, I'd rather cook or get in my protein through my food. So same with protein bars, protein snacks, like things like that, kind of going back to the bioavailability of the protein. You want to make sure you're getting in quality, complete proteins over supplementing, because there could also be so many other ingredients in there that are affecting your body as well. For
sure. So with that being said, we just kind of explain the purpose of them, what they can do for your body. Now that's good. And also the excess and having too much of it, how that can kind of affect you too as well. So now with all that being said, let's kind of switch gears a little bit and kind of give you sort of a standardized approach to supplements. So like when it comes to understanding if you're something that can be beneficial for you, because you could be someone who's, you're working out, you're doing the normal things, you're just getting everything through your food, but you hear about something that could be a little bit more beneficial for you. That's nothing wrong with that, right? You can do the research and understand what it is that you need. So we're going to kind of give you a little guide to follow when it comes to supplements so that you can have a healthy approach to it. So first things first, you got to understand what your deficiency is, right? So don't feel like, again, don't have that social influence and seeing somebody say, oh, they're taking someone, I might need that, right? Look at it as like, all right, how am I feeling every day? Is my energy off, right? Is my recovery off? Am I feel like I'm not recovering from my workouts, right? Understand where in your body do you feel like you're lacking? Is there a big lack that's affecting your everyday life, and not just your workouts? It can be affecting your work, when your energy at work, your mental sharpness, right? If there's something like that, kind of have a broad understanding of what your deficiencies are. And again, like we mentioned, when it comes to like writing your own workout program, the first thing you have to understand is, what is your goal? What are you trying to achieve? So that's kind of how you need to approach supplements, is like, what is my goal in trying to attack the deficiencies that I do have? So once you kind of understand your deficiencies, maybe even might help, especially if it's something that's negatively affecting you, it will help to go see a doctor and just get a checkup, or just do your normal physical. You can do a little blood panel just to see how everything is, if you have any deficiencies. And then that's a perfect baseline that you can go off of. And your doctor can show you from the blood work where you are kind of deficient. And maybe you can kind of create a plan on how you can kind of attack it from a nutritional standpoint. But also, if you're not getting that necessarily through your nutrition, there'll be some supplemental options for you as well. So
and it also gives you a game plan of understanding, like, let's say, for example, the vitamin D. Why are you deficient in it? Is it something that you need to supplement forever? Can you supplement it for 6 months, redo blood work, and see if it's helped, like things like that. So it also kind of gives you a baseline and a game plan of how long you want to be supplementing with something,
Yeah.
and to see if it's even helping you too.
For sure.
So,
For sure.
and I think the blood work, or like really understanding the deficiency, this kind of goes back to when I was having those hormonal migraines, and I knew it had something to do hormonally, but I didn't understand what hormones were off.
Yep.
And so just kind of going through like research, it was like, oh, well, if your estrogen's too high, you should take these things. But if it's too low, you should take these things. So if I would have just guessed, then I could be taking something that's making the hormones worse, right? So even though the supplements were natural things like adding flaxseed, or just, it doesn't have to be something that even, it could still come from your food.
You can be healthy.
Completely healthy. If I was, I could be making the issue worse if I wasn't truly understanding what I was fixing. So I worked with someone, did blood work, really tried to understand, okay, see where my hormones are messed up and where I can help to level them out through my food first. Then I looked at supplements like magnesium. I think that was the only thing I added in. But really looking at like, what foods can I add? I added a lot of nuts, seeds, things like that to just help kind of balance out. And I did start to notice a difference. So doing that blood work it gave me an idea of where I need to start. And then from there, I could do my research on, okay, if this is off, what are things that could help these level out? Then when I redid the blood work, then you can see, okay, yeah, these things are working. Yeah. We can still improve, or keep adding these things in. What you're doing is setting you up for success.
Yeah.
So.
And another example of that was me in college. I could not understand this for the life of me. When I would always cramp, and it didn't matter how hydrated I got. I was drinking the electrolytes. I was doing everything, all the, the pickle juice, like all the remedies, and I was still cramping. I couldn't understand it. So it took me doing probably one of the only blood panels I've done in my life. I can count on one hand how many I've done. And all my electrolytes, they told me to hydrate just like I normally would on a normal day. And I had to come in 2 times on this, like similar times of the day to kind of test out my blood, or my, it was more so like an electrolyte panel. And my potassium always came back like low, super low. It didn't matter what it was. Like I was having the electrolytes every single day. My potassium was always low. And that was something to where I was also a weird time in my life. I could not, for whatever reason, bananas made me nauseous.
They still kind of do.
They still kind of do, especially when I eat them in the morning. I don't know what this is. If there's any doctor out there that can figure that out. I don't even feel like I'm allergic to it. Like I have a, intolerance to them, but like sometimes I'll eat a banana first thing in the morning. I'm like nauseous.
Yep.
So a banana wasn't, as crazy as that sound, it wasn't an efficient way for me to get in that potassium.
Which is what you would think of as like the
easiest way, especially for an athlete, but it didn't work for me. So that's when I had to explore options for supplements to kind of help me. And of course, I take potassium and kind of, it took a couple of weeks for my body to kind of get acclimated to it, but I had no problem. No problem. I was getting through games, especially in those humid games in Houston. I was getting through those games with no problem.
And if you wouldn't have done that, you would have just kept taking electrolyte packets,
Yeah, so. I just been probably just drinking a lot, thinking like the more the merrier. So so that's just a couple of examples of just understanding, your deficiency. Seeing a doctor, getting that actual blood work sometimes, and then that will tell you everything you need to know of the approach you need to take. And honestly, wherever you're deficient is whatever's going to actually help you. Bless you. Okay. Whatever you find deficient is actually going to be what's going to help you on a daily basis too as well. And once you kind of get everything kind of squared up, you'll feel a lot better. And you won't feel like you need something else to keep you going, right?
Correct.
Those are your deficiencies, right?
Yeah.
So,
and then once you do find what you're deficient in, it's like he realized his potassium, I realized my hormones. From there, you can create that game plan of, okay, let me start taking some potassium or doing things to level out my hormones. Look at the quality of what you're utilizing to supplement. So, for example, if he could have just eaten bananas to get in his potassium, that probably would have been
the best option,
a good quality way, because you're getting in other nutrients from that banana as well. But if you have to resort to, I need to get in quickly, especially being an athlete or you're working out every day and you can't get it in through the food, you're going to need to supplement. So then majority of supplements, you want to look at the quality of it. And a lot of them, it's the vitamin is the vitamin, right? But some of them you want to look at, especially when it comes to like powders and things like that.
Yeah.
Like, where was it sourced? What else is in the product? Is there something in here that could interact with the medication I'm taking? Is there something that could give me digestive issues? Because if you can't take the product, let's say it's something you're taking and now you have digestive issues or you're bloated and then you stop taking it,
Yeah.
well, then it's not helping you,
For sure.
you know? So definitely look at the ingredients of what you're taking, the sources. And I will say more expensive is not always better too.
Not necessarily.
In some instances, it might mean like a better quality, but for the most part, it doesn't mean. I've found that even just researching different magnesiums, you know, more expensive isn't always a better option.
Yeah.
And then just saying different magnesiums, there's also different types.
Yes.
So there's so many different magnesium types and they all do different things. So it took me a long time to really be like, what magnesium should I be taking? You know,
Right.
so like oxide versus glycinate
Fluoride.
versus exactly. So definitely this is why we say do your research, because if we just say start taking magnesium and you buy magnesium oxide when you really need magnesium glycinate, then you may be taking it and be like, oh, I tried magnesium, it didn't
work.
help,
Yeah.
but it may not have been the right one. So definitely look at the ingredients. And then the last thing, social influence. So this kind of also goes back to ingredients. So just because someone is promoting a product may not mean that it might be the best for you, or it could be great for you. So this is where I think the social influence of supplements nowadays, it can be good and it can be bad, because I think sometimes we look at someone and they may look the way we want to look and they're taking this supplement. So we assume, oh, I should start taking that too because they look like this. They may not really be taking that product. They may just be endorsing it and they don't use
the bag.
Yeah. Yep. Or they might actually use it and benefit from it. And this is why we never, ever promote anything that we don't actually personally use, because one thing I will say is if you are interested in something that someone is promoting, ask them a lot of questions. Like ask if they've used it, ask how it's helped them, do your research on it, you know? So if we do promote something and someone asks me questions, I want to be able to give my opinion, an honest review of it and how it may have helped me or not helped me too.
For sure. So we could go on and on a whole nother podcast about how social influence affects a lot of people. I mean, you know, you see it on TikTok, you see it everywhere where people see something and sometimes it even becomes a challenge, which is, I don't understand. I think that's where the dry scooping came from. Like people,
oh my goodness,
like dry scooping the pre-workout. Like I never had any interest in doing that.
I couldn't do it
because I get jittery just from putting it in a water bottle. So
like Celsius packet, like a little bit on my tongue,
y'all
and I'm
wild
like,
for that.
like,
Y'all are wild for that. But
insane.
Yeah, don't let the social influence. Like everything you see, don't feel like you're at a disadvantage just because you see someone who's shredded taking a certain supplement. Look, if you're supplementing with everything you need, you don't have any deficiencies. I mean, you're primed to be able to accomplish whatever it is you want to accomplish. Don't feel like you're missing out on a secret supplement that's going to get you to your goals in a couple of weeks. Again, if that was the case, we'd all be ripped and shredded. So just do whatever makes you feel good, understand your deficiencies, and then again, it gives you a lot better, healthy, and more accurate approach to supplements and what your body needs. So
yeah, and I'll say majority of supplements do have a purpose, right?
Yeah,
like majority of them, they can be beneficial. We just don't want you to feel like you need anything.
Yeah.
And a lot of times we'll get asked like, what should I be taking, or should I take this? And I even had someone ask once, I'm seeing collagen everywhere. Should I start taking it? And that's the social influence of it. Like you're seeing it everywhere. So you're like, oh, it's everywhere. I should be taking this. Not the case, right? And so should you take collagen? I don't know. Do you need it? Have you done research on it? Are you getting in collagen through your food? Collagen does decrease as we age, but do you need to start? Does supplementing collagen even help? Like these are all questions that you want to have answers to before you start taking it. And it takes more than just asking one person. I would do research, ask multiple people, and just kind of get an idea of what you're about to put into your body. So
Yeah, so you'll honestly, to be honest with you, we've definitely promoted supplements that we've used in the past, like Toya mentioned. So, for example, our protein powder, we've shouted out before.
Love our protein.
We had a sleep powder that we used. I was
Yep.
having trouble with sleep, and it was something that was helping me at the time. So we definitely promoted certain things, but the thing that we realized that we don't like, even if it's supplements that we use, is because there's no one size fits all.
Nope.
When it comes to supplements, like we don't want to promote something that we love, but then again, we've seen cases where it could be not as beneficial for others.
Yep.
Some people who use the protein that we like then they can't stomach
Yep.
some of the protein, whether it's vegan or whey. Some people didn't like the taste, right? So it's not something that's one size fits all, and it's not something that we can promote to the entire community and feel good knowing that everybody can benefit from it, because we know realistically only a select few people can benefit from it. And to us, it's not, I don't think it's fair for us to promote something that most people can benefit from. So that's why we kind of, if you've ever wondered why we don't really promote a lot of supplements, is for that reason, just because we know that, again, it's not something that a lot of people can benefit from. So any type of sponsorships or partnerships that we do, we want them to be something that everybody within our community could at least look into and might potentially find beneficial for them. So kind of keep that in mind. But with that being said, again, we talked about the purpose of supplements. Hope you learned about that. But also we gave you those tips on how to approach it and have a healthy approach to it as well, because a lot of people do have an unhealthy approach to supplements, which can again turn out be deficient for your goals. So we're gonna do a segment. We talked about this early in our podcast days, but we're gonna do some segments within our podcast just to kind of break it up and make it fun. But we got a new segment called What the Fact.
What the fact?
FAQ.
What the fact? And these are commonly asked questions that we have from people surrounding a certain subject that we're talking about. So again, today we're talking about supplements. So we got some questions that we always get asked that we want to address. And usually if it's something that's, always asked to us, we figured it'd be something beneficial that you might learn from it.
Yep.
So
first question. This is the most asked. I'll
ask it in the perspective of the person.
Okay.
Hey Toya. Hey Juice and Toya. What supplements do you like to take?
So we get asked this probably daily, honestly, in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
And I'll never really say like, yes, this is the list of supplements I take, because one thing I've learned is people will take that and
run with it.
I had lemonade in a shaker bottle once, just because that was the cup I had. And someone was like, ooh, what are you drinking? Can you send me the link? It was lemonade.
It was
right.
They didn't even know what was in the
they're
cup.
just so curious about what you're doing and things like that for very, very good reasons. Like, what are you taking? Like, is this something that could help me? So totally understand, but it was lemonade. Right. And so we don't want to get into what we use so that you can use it. If you ask me if there's something I've taken for a specific reason, I might tell you what has helped me, but it may not help you, right? So for example, magnesium did nothing for my migraines. Absolutely nothing. I have had hundreds of people recommend magnesium for migraines because it helped them. So that's a very good example where something could be so beneficial for someone else and do nothing for you. So the same reason why he mentioned we don't like to promote a lot, same reason I don't want to be like, yeah, here's my list of supplements. There you go, right? Because it could do absolutely nothing for you. But going into supplements we have used, more recently, I have been taking magnesium glycinate to help with leg cramps. So much research says it does nothing, and then some research says that it's been beneficial for women. I've done enough research to realize it's not going to hurt me in certain doses, so why not give it a try? When I take it consistently, I don't have leg cramps. Stop taking it for a few days, what happened?
Cramp.
Immediate.
Middle of the night.
So it seems to be helping me, and it's something that's not hurting me.
Right.
And so I've been taking it. Protein powder. I have protein shakes a couple times a week. Again, most of the time if I'm home, I like to have food. I like to cook and eat my protein, but it does come in handy on days where I need some protein after a workout, or just even midday if I'm like in between meals and I'm like, I need a high protein snack, I'll make a smoothie there. What else have I taken? Oh, I mentioned I did used to take vitamin D. I don't take that anymore.
She's good.
That's it.
Yeah.
I think. I
That's it.
used to take probiotics. I stopped taking those a couple years ago
Yep.
because I found, and it could have been the one I was using. I
Yeah.
didn't, I had more digestive issues. I stopped taking them
Yeah.
and some of my digestive issues went
Got
away. It was
worse.
so counterintuitive to a probiotic. And that goes into maybe I wasn't taking the right one for me.
Exactly.
There's so many different probiotics that have so many different bacteria that we need. It may not have been what I needed, right? And so then after that, I was like, let me not take one for a while and see how I feel.
Yeah.
I felt better. So you might be taking a probiotic that you can't live without, so it might work for some, may not be the best for others.
Yeah. So imagine if someone asked that and we were just like, oh, we're, like you mentioned, we're taking this, that, and the third. They didn't even ask why.
Yep.
Like, why are you taking those things?
Yep.
And that's the big point we're trying to get with this question is we don't like to, again, spill out a list of what we're taking because we're taking it for certain reasons. And if you're not inquiring because you have those same issues or deficiencies, then we're leading you in the wrong direction because you're looking at us thinking like, oh, I need this they look great. They feel great. They move great. They must be because they're taking this, which is completely false. Right?
Correct.
So, and the reason I don't like to say what I'm using sometimes because I use supplements in phases. So I haven't drank a protein shake in 2 months.
Yeah.
And there's been cases where I've, it's been 3 or 4 months straight where I've been drinking protein shakes because for me, I'm in a phase now where I've figured out a routine of getting in my protein through a lot of my food now to where I don't really need to supplement, the amount of protein that I need. I'm getting everything that I think I need through my food. So there have been phases where, especially when I'm on the go or I'm doing a lot of things and I'm not getting in my normal lunches and my normal dinners, then that's when I kind of aim to take more protein shakes. So it comes in phases. And sometimes if I answer a question in a certain phase of my life and then you start taking a certain protein and then now 2 months later, I'm not using it anymore, right? That can come off as something that's not genuine. Or, you know what I mean? So it's a whole rabbit hole of different things you can kind of fall into when it comes to, again, the social influence of everything too as well. So just take proteins that you need, understand your deficiencies, and you're good.
Yay. Okay, the next fact, next frequently asked question.
Should I take creatine? And that'll literally be the question we get.
Yeah.
And we'll be like, I don't know.
I don't know.
You know what I mean? Because you got to realize that's the type of question that requires a lot of information. Right? We don't know you personally. We don't know the people who are, personally who are asking these questions. So if you're asking a question straight up like that, do I need protein? My question is, are you protein deficient? Yeah. Right? You know what I mean? Do I need vitamin D? That's the question I'm going to ask.
Are you vitamin D deficient?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So again, I think that's another question that comes with, is this something that's going to benefit me, or is this something that's going to give me an edge or make me feel better or perform better? Right. I think that's the sort of purpose of people asking the question like that.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think the same with, this kind of goes back a little bit to social influence, like greens powders and things like that. Should I be taking these?
Should I?
And I think most of the should I's come from you see someone else doing it. And so you're curious, of course. And so a lot of these, again, most of them, it's not really a harm. There could be harm, especially if it's interacting with something else. But most of them, it's not necessarily a harm as it is a waste of money on a lot of them.
For sure.
Because you could be getting these things in already through your nutrition and better quality and getting in more. So like, for example, eating an apple, you're getting in the nutrients of the apple, but also fiber and then also the chewing that helps the digestion. So it goes beyond just eat your foods. But if you're someone who refuses to eat fruits and vegetables, you probably could benefit from a powder that incorporates some of those nutrients. So I never like to say like it's a waste, don't ever take it, because for some people it could be better than nothing. But for some people it also might be a waste of money.
For sure.
And a waste of time.
And for us, certain times, especially when we're traveling, sometimes greens powders are great for us because when we're in certain areas of the country and
we don't have access to cook.
Yeah, we don't have access to cook or just getting in our normal nutrients that we're used to getting. Again, imagine getting in the same nutrients every day and then you go travel and then your body's not getting those similar nutrients, you're going to feel that immediately, right? So sometimes having those supplements are great when you're out of the, you're somewhere out of the norm and you need to kind of supplement in a way that kind of keeps you at least on track. It's not going to be the same, like she said, as, getting it through your food or your normal meals, but if you can supplement in any way, just for the sake of just feeling similar to what you would when you're under your normal routine, that can be beneficial.
Absolutely.
So, another question that we got, I mean, these are all kind of the same, but the whole point is we're trying to get you to understand what it is that you need and not basing it off of things that you see. And here's an example. If you came to us and asked, like, I've seen all over the internet that people are taking pre-workout. I see people taking pre-workout every day before their workouts. And, I understand it gives you some great energy, makes you feel pumped and ready to go for your workouts. I sometimes feel sluggish. Do you think there's something that can be beneficial for me?
That's a great question.
A great approach, because that gives us background. You obviously you're curious because you've seen it everywhere online. You've seen it on the internet. You've seen it on Instagram and stuff. And you sort of kind of relate it to something that you could be or might be experiencing as well, which is low energy, right? So then we can kind of guide you. Number one, we can say it could be a great option. We can also provide you with other options, which especially what we would always recommend through your food first. So if you can get some good quick absorbing carbs through your food first, we would recommend that. But again, that gives us more context and we can give you a more thorough answer. Correct. But if you're just like, hey,
should I take pre-workout?
Yeah, I saw this dude online. He's super jacked. He's always crushing his workout. He's taking pre-workout. Should I be on that or what? You know what I mean? I'm like, hey,
I don't know.
But at the same time, don't feel like just because he's jacked and he's probably taking some other stuff that you don't know about.
Correct.
That actually made him jacked. You know what I mean?
Correct.
So you're associating the wrong thing. So again, social influence. If you hadn't learned one thing today, understand that social influence is bad.
Yeah.
And just realize what it is that you need.
Yeah. And then the last question we get asked probably daily also is, what supplements do you recommend? And that's none. Because I don't know what you need. And I could recommend to you, like, take this, take that, take this, take that, and you don't need it, right? So I recommend what you need, and that could be zero, right? So like right now, again, the only thing that I'm taking is magnesium. I don't, especially like being pregnant, I'm trying to not put a lot into my body and just be aware. I'm not trying to depend on anything right now.
That's the biggest key right there.
Yes. And for pregnant or not pregnant, we don't want you to depend on anything. But yeah, I'm just trying to be more mindful. Even coffee. I used to drink coffee before my workout, pretty much no matter what. But some days, especially limiting my caffeine right now, I'm like, can I do my workout today without the coffee so that maybe after I can have a little caffeine if I need it? And then sometimes I forget to drink the coffee,
and notice she said, if I need it.
Yes. And then if I forget to drink it, I clearly didn't need it. Exactly. Right. And so look at supplements that way, like kind of approach them as, do I need this? Is it going to be beneficial for me? How long do I need to be taking this? And then once you kind of approach it that way, it changes a lot, because we also get a lot of times the protein powder we recommend, or the one that we like, if someone's like, what protein powder do you like? And we're like, oh, we like this one because A, B, and C.
Correct.
There's been multiple times where they're like, oh, that one's expensive. Can you recommend another one?
Yes.
And I can't, because I don't know. I don't use we've been using the same protein powder for like 4 years now. And so there's not really one specific other ones that I recommend because I don't use them. But what I could recommend is, well, I would look at other ones that have similar ingredients, because I don't want to recommend you one with metals in it or crap ingredients that now you're not even getting good quality protein. And if your goal was to get protein out of it, you're not getting in good protein. But then two, you're also adding in things that are going to cause other issues. So if your goal is to fix protein deficiency, now you're going to have to fix that and digestive issues, right? And so it just, a lot of times if someone's like, oh, this protein powder is too expensive, what I'll say is, can you get it in cheaper through your food? Chicken breast is probably one of the more least expensive lean proteins. And sometimes it can be cheaper getting in 20 grams of protein through your chicken breast than it would be getting in 20 grams of protein through a protein powder. Right. And so look at it that way. Do I need the protein powder or do I want the protein? And then if you want it, that might come at a cost,
Yeah.
right? Because it is convenient. And so sometimes you pay for convenience, right?
Yeah.
It is convenient to shake it up, throw it in a smoothie, whatever, and have that protein versus taking the time to cook
Yeah.
chicken breast. So it is more convenient. That's what we pay for, but at the expense of what, you know?
For
So
sure. And it's good to have, especially like protein product. Again, I haven't drank protein shake in 2 months, but it's still good to have because I know it's going to be a day that's going to come where I might not be able to get in my normal lunch and I do
Yep.
need that protein. Bam, I got a shake right there that I can make. So
yep. And I stopped eating protein bars because I couldn't find one that didn't leave me bloated or gassy.
Yeah.
It might
Or
have
super
tasted
sugary.
great or super sugary. Exactly.
Yeah.
And so then I realized like, okay, stop. I kept looking for ones. I'm like, why? Like, am I looking? Because it's convenient. It's
Yeah.
easy. But if I just prep some meals and have, then that can also be easy, you know?
sure.
And so sometimes we have to look at it that way and just kind of be real with ourselves too.
Yeah.
Like, again, if you're at the airport or somewhere where you're like, I need to get in some protein,
Yeah.
you might grab something like that, like a quick protein bar. But every time I had, it just left me gassy and bloated with just like the sugar, alcohols and things like that in there.
Yeah.
So I haven't found one that worked for me. And that made me realize I don't need to be using this.
Yeah.
Dude. I don't
Yeah,
need to be
sometimes it
eating
takes
the
that.
protein bars. So
Yeah. And the last thing I'll leave you with as far as just influences when it comes to taking certain supplements is understanding the motives too as well, especially when you're looking at a lot of things online. So for example, there are a lot of companies who they'll promote a certain product and they'll promote it as something that you need to take daily, right? What does that mean for you? Of course, you're looking at it as like, oh, I can't live life without this. But for them, it's like, oh, we got them hooked on this supplement or drug forever, right? Sometimes that's the company's purpose. They want to promote a daily drug as something that you need or that's going to be very beneficial for you, or you feel like you're not going to be the same without it. And that's kind of their marketing pitch when it comes to how they promote certain things. So you don't want to fall victim to that as well. Fall victim to promotional things that make you feel like
promotional.
I'm not going to be
that's the
jacked
word.
without this product, right? So kind of look out for that too as well. I don't want people to fall into that trap because I fell into that trap a long time ago in college, seeing the commercials and, then you see your friends on it and then you feel like, oh, I can't lift without this. You know what I mean? You don't need that. And you don't, again, like we mentioned before, you don't want to feel like you're dependent on something just to get in the workout or just to kind of get through every day. If that's the case, then how did people back 100 years ago survive? Right? They didn't have something, right? They got it mostly through their food, and they found ways to supplement their bodies that way. So understand that. Try not to let companies of social influence lead you in the wrong direction. I probably said that 5 times today, but that's the biggest thing I want to hone in on because we get that.
It's where a lot of the questions come from. It's like what you see.
Y'all can only imagine, man. We get so many.
We didn't have this. Like when we were athletes, it was like we just took what our friends took or what a coach might recommend. Like I didn't see things on social media. And now social media is so much bigger where I couldn't imagine the things, the supplements I would have tried back then just because someone's like, I take this every day and I squatted heavier. I'd be like, ooh, I'm trying to squat heavy right now. Let me take that.
And it's crazy now too, because I see certain posts on Instagram and TikTok where like the leading shot of the reel is like them taking a shot of pre-workout or they're shaking up their right. It's almost like they might not even be promoting a product, but it kind of creates this idea that like, oh, they're working out and I need to, what are they shaking up in there that's, got them looking like that, right? So it's even with little clips like that sometimes get people reeled in. So again, all right, we'll leave social influence alone.
Okay. So that's our spiel on supplements. If you've ever wondered what we take, it's probably nothing. Protein powder. It's really about it. Like genuinely, I'm trying to think like what else I've.
Yeah, I don't honestly know. I don't really take too much. Again, I feel great right now. Everything's going good. My protein is usually my biggest concern, and electrolytes as far as making sure I'm hydrated.
Electrolytes. I do use electrolytes. Correct.
Yeah,
yes.
But other than that, I mean, again, we try to approach everything, try to get it through those whole foods as best you can. And again, if you have certain conditions and you understand that, look, I can't get in as much magnesium or potassium, I would see a doctor and just kind of understand where you're deficient because it might be something else completely deficient that you
Yes.
didn't even know about that you can find out by doing a blood panel too as well. So just understand that. We gave you the purpose of supplements, why you need them, are they necessary, and I also talked about the excess intake and how that can affect you as well.
Excess is a thing, including protein powder. There is a such thing as excess protein, period,
For sure.
too.
Yep. And then also we gave you some tips on how you can kind of approach taking supplements. Understand that, understand your deficiency. See a doctor if you need to. Understand what deficiencies are. And then also look for quality ingredients.
Correct. He's hungry.
I'm hungry on some grease. Quality ingredient sources. And also watch out for social influence as well. So with that being said, one of our favorite segments of this podcast is dad jokes.
You want to go first today?
No, ladies first. It's just Mother's. It's been Mother's Day, so we're gonna celebrate you today.
All right, I got one because this is one of our favorite places in the world.
Gosh, here we go.
Why is it illegal to laugh loud in Hawaii?
Why is it illegal to laugh loud
or loudly?
Oh man, I'm not gonna like this. Because they only I got it, but I don't. Because they only accept aloha.
Yes. We love Hawaii. Aloha.
That's good. That's solid. Even getting the joke, that's funny.
That's funny.
That's funny.
That's a good one.
All right, I got one for you. Also, let us know in the comments if these jokes are trash, and we'll try to get some better ones.
They probably are.
So you know me, I like to stay on subject when it comes to these. So we're gonna talk about supplements today.
Oh boy.
What should you do when a supplement knocks on your door?
What should you do when the supplement knocks on your door?
It's so bad. This is a joke only a dad could tell. Which is me almost.
Let him in. Open the door.
Let me know when you give up.
What? I don't. What?
You invite him in. You invite him in.
I was on to it. I knew.
You was hot. You was pretty hot. I ain't gonna lie. I thought you was gonna get him. I was like, let him in. Come on, you got it. I was encouraging you.
Invite him in. Vitamins are supplements.
Invite him in.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's good. That's good.
I have a tear.
I got a bonus.
Okay.
What supplement is good for wrinkles? You might get this one. What supplement is good for wrinkles? This is not to scale. This is not true, by the way. Or maybe. No, I don't know. Actually, I don't think so. What supplement is good for wrinkles?
Smoothies.
Supplement, not food, but it's a good shot.
Protein smoothies.
You're going to be so mad at this.
What?
Iron. Wrinkles. And iron. Iron is good for wrinkles.
Wow. Wow. That leads me to iron is a vitamin that a lot of women are deficient in, so you may need to take iron, but it can also lead to constipation, so watch out for that.
All right.
Wow. Okay.
Pro tip. Wow. So
okay, that's a good one. Those were both
we
really good supplement ones.
Let us know how we did, and if you got those.
Iron.
We
don't know if iron actually
I don't know. That's why I said it's not to scale. Don't quote me on this. I know people like to cut stuff and make some, no, that was a joke. It's a joke. Do not take that and run with. You said iron's great for wrinkles. I got people smearing iron on their face. All right. So that wraps up our talk about supplements. We hope you learned a lot. This is something that we had to learn over time. It took trial and error for us, but obviously
lots of trial and error.
With trial and error and obviously being knowledgeable about it and doing our research and, through all the, certifications and stuff that it takes to be a trainer, we understand the importance of supplements, why they're important, but also why you might not even need them in the first place as well. Again, it depends on the person. Really understand what your deficiencies are, and you'll be good to go. So if there's anything in particular, I know we can get a lot deeper into supplements. So if there's anything in particular you want us to dive deep in, I know protein is a big one. I know creatine is a big one. Vitamin C, vitamin D, all your multivitamins, we can definitely get deeper into those and give you just kind of our thoughts on it, but also facts. Like we're coming with the facts. So
FAQ.
Yeah, for sure. So again, we appreciate you for joining us. Go check out our Summer Ready program. It's never too late to get ready for the summer. You can start that right now. Get on the Juice and Toya app to get access to those exclusive workouts within that program. But if you don't got it, we understand. You can do a week free and check it out for yourself. But we also have a free version of that program on our website, onebodyla.com. Go to the website and you'll be able to access it that way as well. And also check out the new merch, man. I got the One Body LA. You only get one on the front right here. So go check that out on the website. We appreciate the support and we want to see you in your fresh new merch. So Toya, sign us out, please.
All right. Thank you for joining us today. And we will see you all at the next one.
Hey, welcome back. Let's get it. Back.